Is that his new last one?
Yeah, he did. He was giving some kind of handshake.
Yeah.
I think
Or is that a forced one? Or is that yellow? So it's just
Mayor or that.
Yeah, amen. Good. How you doing?
Hey, Jesse, you go to the church.
All there right?
But there's a band
People
there
there
now.
now. People there now.
Well, I called the realtor yesterday, and told her, I said, what's your church? You need a boat.
I got her.
I have no idea.
I'm trying to broker a deal on that. I become a
Good. Good.
property broker too, I guess.
Dogwood tree.
I've got it closer.
Yeah.
Here you go.
We was just talking about loan. I said I'll worry over it.
Yeah.
If it rains,
Nothing.
oh no.
Nothing?
I even rake farm last year.
I didn't buy any money.
I was talking about getting one of
Troy
those.
said, well, man, you won't be here.
Not bad.
I got one
Full
6
frame,
time
yeah,
coming.
long rake
So
thing.
we get,
And we used to rake in.
Godspeed, huh?
He can give you that sort.
well, don't you have one of those passes in there for him?
No, when there's a state trooper on it, I'll get.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's that work? He's running, give me a second.
This would.
I got one that wouldn't give me one.
Diarrhea,
Maybe.
my nose was just.
My neighbor.
You still do.
Yeah, he's still. All right, at 6 o'clock, let's get this meeting going. In order, standing in pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, any motion to approve minutes from last meeting? Logan, second. Tom, all in favor? Aye. All right, motion to pay the bills. That's from Tom, second from Ken. All in favor? Thank you, guys. I go to the bills. All right, Jesse, you are up.
All right, we worked on some pothole patching last week. We got the dirt work completed and seeded from our fall projects. Hydrant flushing is complete, the pool's up and running. As of now, everything's running smooth and got the chemicals today, so
That's it now.
I think it's cleaned up pretty nice. Biolac basin excavation is complete and Reynolds came and reseeded from the project. Hydro seeded this time, trying to get some better grass coverage out there. Working on sewer on South Mill Street, tree trimming ongoing. IMPA is working with the guys on the solar tie-in and the switch gear and getting line spliced. Sounds like that might go on more at the end of the month. Maintenance schedule for leaning poles on North Maple Street. Our truck testing was complete last week. We're waiting to report, but we want to, they didn't tell us of any failures. So I don't think there's any major issues there. It sounds like Fountain Central has a new internship program for seniors. They've got a kid, Spencer Trout, he's interested in coming here with the lineman for next school year. It's 2 hours in the morning. It's for class credits that go towards graduation from 8 to 10 a.m. for the whole school year. They said parents are responsible for carrying insurance, but if we needed to do a liability waiver or something, we could. And then they also said you could pay them, you don't have to. I would suggest we don't, since it's only 2 hours a day.
Okay.
We're not gonna get a lot out of
And
it.
that's with the electric department, you're saying?
That's what he's wanting to do. That's his plan after school. He's wanting to do something electric wise. He's talking about new skills program.
Do you think it'd be good, but I think we need to touch with Stu next meeting and see exactly what he thinks we need to write up the rust to be covered. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
You gonna be driving a town vehicle?
No.
No?
Who wants to drive with the cop?
And then also, I gave you guys an email I got at 3:10 this afternoon. NDOT, they're not taking any rounds for community crossings in July, so there's no calling in July. So it looks like maybe the fall they're gonna have one. So HWC's saying they're gonna, they'd like to proceed with working on this project we turned in, so it can be ready for that calling in the fall, if they have.
We might as well get it ready.
Right, you have to have a shovel-ready project, but,
You have a motion to go
No,
ahead
sure,
and have
they're
them.
running out of money, got it already.
Motion from Mike, second from,
yeah, well, we've signed the contract last
Right.
meeting, so we.
I just want to get a motion to go ahead and keep it moving, so.
Proceed. Yeah, they, I don't think that they're even, or they're even in the know of what's really going on like that.
Need a second from somebody on that? From Tom, all in favor? Aye. Okay.
Also, while we're on that issue, when they're working on that drain up across, by the old grocery store, have you talked to them, that's something they're gonna try to work and find out water's gushing over the top? Every time you get a good rain, or what's the name's pump kicks on, just, ignore.
One block north.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
Yeah, we would just have.
when, as long as it's done, you know, on or before the time they do all that extra work, or included in it. So we'd have to cut that new blacktop, get the water gushes across there.
Yeah.
I know he said, what's the name, said it used to work, but it doesn't work anymore, so just run it out.
Yeah, there's no drainage there. We don't have any drainage there. The next drainage is the fall.
Should be one put in there if we can at the time, catch that, take it down across there. Put new Main Street in and have to back tear it off. Get it back working.
The only other thing I have, do we have all the netting picked up yet on Maple where we planted the new grass?
It's all gone.
It is all gone now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't generally pull that.
Hmm?
Generally, that stays.
Well, it does?
Yes. It'll degrade and you just can't mow it low.
Okay.
Mow high and the grass will eventually take it over and it'll lay down. We pulled it off, so.
Okay.
It kind of bears it, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay, Jesse's on a short time schedule tonight. Any questions? for Jesse?
How about the downtown? It needs to be weedy, again, looks like to me. On the main street, against the buildings, nobody else will do it. Cardinal, Manning's, and,
Yeah, we can get it, give us some time.
okay.
You sent out, what you say, 24 notices for mowing?
I think that's most of it we had.
Yeah.
Alright, 24.
David, Jim Moore, at your yard?
She does.
I know.
Tell you what, Mill Street's getting pretty bad, or just like grow up, I don't know whether they know they're supposed to mow between them.
They all know, and they've all done it.
So we can't do anything with that junk guy on Mill Street where Kathy Pugh used to live, huh? He's got her filled up again.
Right
Is that Keeling or Keller? What's his name?
Thanks, Taylor.
Keller? He's got a donation box there, leave him a note.
Go ahead. Sign it.
As long as it's not perishable.
Yeah, because our ordinance, there's several days in there where they're allowed to have scrap metal, so they can get it.
Maybe we need to redo that. Give the students what we can do next week.
So the guy in Sterling, it seemed like he would do it, he'd keep it there, and then he'd clean it up, and then.
I know, it
and
comes and goes.
He'd put it out there again, and
I know.
our day, in ordinance, there's several days that they can have it.
Well, let's give the student next meeting, see what we can do to take care of that. Okay, anything else for Jesse? Anybody out there, anything for Jesse?
Well, if Kim, you want to talk about a new diamond, Pee-wee diamond?
Well, that, at the Hub Park is bigger. Just the fence, I called Mr. Vincent, and they'll be here at 12 o'clock on Wednesday to get a quote for the Sterling Park fence.
Okay,
So that's
we
that-
visited this several years ago, and Jesse knows, I think. We had to cut out the bank and the outfield on the main diamond, and then with the pair on the parking lot of the pool, and it just wasn't feasible.
Well, I told HWC about it, so when they do their conceptual design plan, they were gonna put something in for it, so.
Okay, well, I just wanted to, okay.
Can you meet with them tomorrow to show them what we want the best?
Those guys, yeah. I think we'll just leave the backstop, it's in good shape, but everything else is pretty cool. Over, so,
Okay.
tried to run the kids off, I seen climbing on it.
Yeah, it's in bad shape. We wired it back and whatnot, and some of the upright poles just come out of the ground.
Yeah, we used to climb.
A lot of them climbing up on the backstop, and I'm like, get off there. No.
Okay, well, that's it for Jesse.
All I have.
Let you go, you need to get going, and Carrie, you're up.
James has his interview with Major Bridge at the Law Enforcement Academy Thursday at 1 o'clock, I believe it is. And then he's got to take a laptop with him, because then they'll give him the assignments he'll have to do in order to take the test.
Okay. Does he have a laptop?
Probably just have to take one.
Are we gonna need another one?
We've got one for each squad, they're not all three in use
Okay,
at one time.
all right,
I can't see Christian
Okay.
for that.
okay.
Not like it don't need it all the time, because, when once we switch over, he'll be, by himself, so he'll have the computer in the top over.
Vehicle, right?
Okay, all right.
Radar research done today on all three squads by the radar man. That's an annual thing. Other than that, there's nobody here, but I think Center Bank needs to be recognized and thanked for the cases of water they brought to all the emergency personnel for the fire last week.
I can do that.
Huh?
I can do that,
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's all I got.
Questions for Carrie? Thanks for getting that truck moved so quick.
Yeah, they were actually pretty receptive. I was kind of shocked at that.
If you see a vehicle sitting around, anybody, there's a short audience here tonight, expired plates, you let us know, let Carrie know. We had one that didn't bother a guy for 2 years, so we didn't know about it. We got it done in 2 days, got it moved, so it doesn't take much, but
But that's if they're only on the street, right?
correct,
Right now.
yeah,
There's a lot of them sitting in yards,
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And some of them been there for
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yes,
I mean,
They're gonna fix them.
I still think there should be a 6 month or 12
no,
month
I agree.
thing. If you're not, if you haven't moved that thing in 6 or 12 months, you're not going to move it. And it's just nice.
Bring that up next meeting with Stu's here, if you can remember that one.
I bet you could find 50 to 75 of them around town.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I'd say so.
I mean, I get it, people are down on their life maybe, but after a year. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, obviously they're not gonna do it, but.
No,
I agree with you.
and then the tires are all flat and rotten and everything.
I agree. I wouldn't clean the town up, just little things, a little bit at a time.
I like to get James's cell phone number
Oh, you mean his personal cell phone number?
just to have.
Go ahead and put that in the
I'll
minutes.
ask him. If he says no, it's his personal cell phone. He pays for that. I'm not telling somebody they have to give their number to somebody.
I'll talk to him.
All right, before we get in trouble, Kim, you're up.
Okay. Kristen gave me the spreadsheet for the expenses for 211 North Main Street that you had asked for, and I made a copy for you on that. Thank you for the office downstairs temporarily. It's been a huge blessing. I've been working on a community evaluation binder for Veedersburg, and I got all kinds of, I have everything. I filled the whole thing. I talked to Stacy about what they needed at the pool, and I've got a freezer on the way from Downs. I was able, the TIF board approved up to $600, and we were able to get one on sale that they had in stock, and it was the bigger one, so they're gonna make arrangements with her to have that delivered, and she told me she didn't need an air conditioner right now, because the one she has is okay. So I said if there's anything else, to let me know. We got, I think I finally have all the furniture ordered for the amphitheater. We're waiting on picnic tables, it's the last order coming through, so it should be here in the next couple weeks. The new bench was delivered, and I offered to use the damaged bench as a memorial bench for the property right there that's across from, that's south of the amphitheater. I don't have room for it on the wall, I already ordered enough to cover it. So we're gonna do a memorial bench there. We're promoting the circus for June the 6th. If anybody needs tickets, they are $13 for adults, $8 for teens and seniors. You can buy those here at the Town Hall building, Julie's Java in Veedersburg and Covington, the Veedersburg Public Library, and Downs TV and Appliance. And if you buy those ahead of time, the VRA gets the proceeds, and so we actually raise more money that way, rather than going to the QR code, which orders from the company, and then we don't get a profit from that. So if you can, go to these places to buy those tickets ahead of time, so that we can make a profit off of that. The fun run, we had about 60 to 70 people attend. It was kind of chilly, but we had a really great time, got some great pictures. Jeff Jordan is a local guy that lives here in town. He came and did the photography for us, gave me beautiful pictures to post the next to our events this summer. He's volunteering his services, he won't accept money. So I have talked to Dawn Songer. They have the HDH Aviation, where they do experience tours with helicopters. And I asked her if that would be something that we could offer at an event, is to do helicopter rides, and she said yes. So we're working out the details of a landing space and all of that. So she's working on that and gonna get back with me. We've also been looking at doing a BMX bike show if we can find a sponsor, and then also tethered hot air balloon rides. I did find a company out of Indianapolis that does that. I'm waiting to get their invoice to see how much. But more than likely it would be Fountain Trust's parking lot that we would have to do all of that on. The Sterling Ball Field, I called the Mr. Fixit, they're gonna be here tomorrow to give a quote, and Jesse's gonna meet them. I put the Little League Pee Wee Field into the, HWC, yes, that's the right acronym, the HWC conceptual design, so they're gonna add that in there. The amphitheater's concrete expansion has began, so they're gonna connect those sidewalks and start that hopefully by the end of the week.
I think you're supposed to form it up tomorrow.
Awesome. Veedersburg Brickyard was featured on Fox 59 News. If nobody was able to see that, Gail posted the video on the, you may know you're from Veedersburg page. I followed up on the cardboard recycling issue at the BP. I went out there and talked to the guys. They said, well, because what was happening is people go by and they use it as a dumpster and they just dump trash in it. Well, it's supposed to be for cardboard only, but those big squares are too big, and so when people throw trash in it, it just blows down the street. So that was what was happening. And I asked the guys if they had a different dumpster or anything that they could put there for cardboard, and they said no, but we could take the one that's there out, which is what they did. So nobody's going to be throwing trash in it anymore, and I suggested to the owners that they get a bigger dumpster since they've outgrown the one that they have. So.
How did that go? Did they?
I think
They understand that?
I think it was translated.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
If not, I can get a hold of Sam, and he could probably.
Well, and the girl that was there, she told him, and I said, you might just need a bigger dumpster. You've outgrown the one you have, so let the trash company know. I don't know if they followed through or not.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the video surveillance guy to come tell us when they're gonna hang up the cameras, but I do have signs for the amphitheater for that. And the cruise-in is June the 14th, the circus is June the 6th, and that is all I have.
Questions for Kim? About DSO, you slipped in, do you have anything?
Did she read what I had to say?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I had sent it to her because I've been working, so I didn't know if I was gonna make it
Yeah.
here tonight or not. But the only thing, I don't have much on the zoning thing. I've had a few calls, I've signed off on a couple of things, so there's a lot to it. So besides that, the only other thing that I had was what I had talked to you about Dylan Newton owns, through a contract sale, the building, I can't remember what the address is. It's got 3 apartments above it, or 2 apartments upstairs, I think, and then the bottom one used to be KBN building up here on 2nd Street. I can't think of the
The old
address.
JC Sport Shop, I mean,
It's
that's.
old Legion building.
The old Legion building.
Okay. So I was in a meeting with him the other day, and he was talking about that. So it's 1,000 square feet of empty commercial space on the bottom that nothing's been done with. So the owner that he's buying it on contract from had, the pest control in there a couple times. It just put up some blinds, but never really done anything. So Dylan said that he would like to see someone go in there and do something with it, whether it's somebody with the town that has an idea, or several office spaces, or if there's any ideas of something that could be done with it. He didn't discuss price, but he said he would rather rent it out for a little bit of nothing than to it just keep sitting like that. Because he has no ideas for it. He does understand that it does need some work. So he said that if somebody had an idea of what to do with it, he'd probably be willing to meet whoever down there, to see what could be done. I know the ceiling tiles, they need gone. They need replaced. There was a toilet or something in the upstairs apartment back when I had it listed that week, and so it did do some damage to the ceiling tiles, but I don't know that it was any kind of structural damage. She has a structural report
Yeah,
for
I have
it.
a report for that, and it's 107 East 2nd Street.
107, I can't believe I forgot that, but yeah, that's it. So he just is looking for ideas, or if somebody has something they might want to put in there. I know that, I think, was the American Legion looking for a place at one time, or?
They were looking, last time I talked to them, they were thinking about building
Okay,
a new facility.
okay. Well, I just told Dylan I would let you guys know the next time I came to the meeting that he's willing to do something.
Yeah, we can mention that one to them too, see if they'd be interested, but,
Okay.
yeah.
And I think there's 1 bathroom, there could be 2 bathrooms in there. It's been a year or so since I've been in it, and I can't remember how many bathrooms were in there. But it all needed work. The carpet is old and probably needs just replaced and painted. And I think on an inspection report we had one time, there might have been some electrical issues, but I don't know that it's throughout the whole building. I think it was just the way that things were separated out, so I can't really remember exactly what the inspector had called out on that.
Okay. Well, if we get some interest, we can go in there and look and see what we can do.
Yeah. He does have a management company, but I don't know if he was gonna include the management company in on that, if he wanted them to even have to mess with it. I don't know what his intentions were there,
Okay.
because I don't really have an idea of what could go in there, so. I had mentioned to Kim, in Rockville, they have Bridge 61, I know they have them in other places too, but, I had an office down at Bridge 61 for a while, so I think it had like 6 or 7 different offices in there, and so you can pay membership fees, whether it's for a day, or a month, or a year. And then there was a common meeting area too, so there were a lot of kids that would come in there and do homework, in like the office spaces. So that was an idea. I just don't know how much of a need there is for that in town.
Well, we can dig into it and see what we can figure out.
Yeah,
Like come up with something, build buildings.
yeah, because that's what, I mean, it's what you guys want, I think, is to have something done with all the
Sure.
buildings. So it would be nice if something could go in there.
I agree. Okay.
Yep.
Let's keep working.
Okay,
All right.
that's all I
Anything else?
No, I think that's all I
All right, well, thank you. All right. This is, I go under whole business here. We're gonna do the AC units. Let's just, what do you think? Just do it in the next meeting while we're all here?
Yeah, I think we need to get it done.
No, I know we need to get it
We're
done.
gonna put again, we're gonna put somebody else out
Okay.
there, they're gonna bring their.
All right, so let's put that on the agenda for next meeting. We'll look at the bids. And it doesn't necessarily, if the price is, it doesn't have to be the lowest bid, it's gonna be what fits, you know, the best unit, the best bang for the buck, the best service. I think we'll look into a lot of things. You guys agree with that?
Yeah. And I think once they get some kind of spec sheet and come with it, and
Okay.
what you get.
Yeah, let's do that then, since we're on the same page there. Okay, next thing I have in old business, this is from Ed Wurzball. He had in the past had paid for a sign, out in the park, and it's for the Veedersburg Police Department. It's $125 a year. I talked to Ken about that since he's our police guru. He suggested maybe, can that be paid for out of the park funds?
Kristen and I talked about that. There is certain rules of what you can do and what you can't do, but we can look into that and see.
Good.
I'm not sure what we can donate for as far as like the state board accounts, what they allow us to spend that on, but we can, I'll have her.
Let's take a look, if we can pay that out of the park funds. I mean, it's supporting the Little League, and, you know, puts the police department out in front of everybody. I think it's a good thing, so. Everybody good with that? Okay. The only other thing I have, and the people will hear about the church up here on Mill Street. Been talking with the realtor there, talking with the lady that was here, trying to get a realistic price. They are interested in it, so I'll keep everybody posted on that. Sure, it'd be nice to see something happen with that thing. We don't get a building with the roof falling in town. So, also in new business, we have the contract for Paws and Claws. Talked to Carrie about it. They do have it, he said, only respond to you correctly.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Jessica responding. Like I said, I don't think, we haven't had that many calls lately, so.
Good.
But I think it'd probably be good to get her down here if you guys got questions, regarding the contract and exactly
Something wouldn't hurt for.
what she's gonna do and what she's not gonna do.
Right. I know none of it's gonna be addressed on Facebook. Don't expect it to be.
I'm not addressing it on there.
I don't want my brother being in charge of that. But yeah, let's see if we can get her down here for the next meeting.
Do you want me to
And,
call her? I can call her.
Okay. That way you can put it out there wherever you put your stuff, Kim, and let everybody know what we do, what can be done
Okay.
on Facebook.
Well, and I had an email that came through, it's like on one of the email threads, and it was from different counties and stuff. And one thing, a lot of those towns, what they do is if you have a repeat offender, eventually they get fined. If you have a dog that keeps getting loose and keeps getting loose and keeps getting loose, then like so many offenses, then they get a fine for that. I mean, and that seemed to be something that a lot of towns did.
That's happened. People have been written, local ordinance tickets. It's an actual ticket.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay. So, do we want to wait and sign this? When they
Say so.
Okay. We're going to put that off till the next meeting, signing that one then. So Tom Graham is on the agenda. Is Tom Graham here? No Tom Graham. Okay, one thing that Dave brought to me, this is put out by Diego Morales, Secretary of State. I've been getting a lot of words on my phone today. The state is not emailing you wanting information. This is, what do you want to call it?
Scam.
It is a scam, yeah. Has anybody gotten words on that on their phone about it?
Yeah, no ticket for a toll bridge.
Yeah.
And it's shady too, because
I got about
if you look
6
at
of them.
if you look at the address that it comes from, it's like subscriptions,
It's not valid.
but it's an IN.gov address.
Do
So it
not
looks-
open it.
Yeah.
Do not open it. I got one today that said I owe $6.99 for something.
Yeah.
So, anyway, pass on that. All right. privilege of the floor. Anybody have anything? David?
The sign you have on 41 coming into town from the north, you can't see it. The one with the 2 brick columns.
Master Guard,
Yeah. But you just can't see it.
weeds, trees, what?
Trees,
Okay.
Those are master guards trees, aren't they?
We moved that once before, that was put up, we flipped it, put it out closer to the highway, so.
Is that the one we moved, or we moved the other one?
That one, Bill Minnick was up here.
Yeah.
but the trees, I think, are on state property.
Call Jesse, see what he can do.
I don't know if Jesse can do anything out there where it is, but,
Call the state and see.
Call the state.
yeah, well, state.
And one other thing that I had, I noticed that, it's called Sagamore Drive, it's a U-shaped drive here in town, it's not paved. Seemed kinda odd.
Where is that?
Sycamore, off of Maple,
Oh, Maple. Yeah, that was
drive
private,
Maple.
that was private, when that was put together, it was private development. I don't know if that street's ever been,
Yeah.
dedicated to the town.
Al Wolf put that in, he put that whole housing addition in years ago, and when he put that in, he was supposed to, at that time, put lights, curbing, gutters, sidewalks.
Only one problem with that, Al is no longer with us,
No, he's not.
so
Town doesn't own that stretch to my knowledge.
all of the lots around here have been sold.
Dispatch has calls on that street, Sycamore, right? Addresses, I mean,
I don't
it's,
know
so
if
it's in,
that street ever got dedicated to town or anything else. I know when he was putting that subdivision in, it didn't belong to that subdivision.
He did not finish what he was supposed to do.
Even though it's within the town city limits.
Now, it's
When
like,
you put a subdivision, Darryl, you probably know more about this than we do. If you put a subdivision in, aren't you supposed to go in there and?
The infrastructure is supposed to be with the developer,
yeah,
Then you turn it over.
then you turn it over.
correct.
Somebody's put water in there. There's fire hydrants along that backside.
That would be on us, I'm sure. I don't think they would do that with it.
All I'm saying is, you know, the guy was supposed to do it, he's dead, he's away, he can do it now.
Yep.
So, for the people that live around there, it might be nice to get it brought up to the rest of the town.
Well, as you see, we're trying to get money from community crossings. That's where we got our blacktopping done. And it just got delayed. We're not getting any money this year at all until possibly the fall. So I don't know if Jesse has that on his schedule later. We can ask him.
I'm gonna assume we maintain that, right? That street.
I'm sure we do.
Because at times, the very back part of it
Yeah,
will wash out and it gets pretty rough back.
I'm sure we do. We can ask Jesse about it. Maybe millings or something like that. Okay, anybody else?
I'm gonna ask another question then.
Okay.
I remembered that because I wasn't at the last meeting either. I remember that Ken said that, the lawyer, Stu, had mentioned that you guys needed to give the county the jurisdiction over like the 2 mile radius or something like that for the development.
He wanted to talk to us about it. There's some things that have come up through AIM, I guess, that he has discovered, and he wanted to talk to us about it, so he'll be here next meeting.
Has the county got their subdivision ordinances finished yet? The
I
last
do
meeting,
not know.
two that I was at, I don't think that they were still completed.
Yeah, I don't know at all.
I don't think so.
I didn't think that they did either. I mean, I would hate, so since the town has already said that he can't continue out there only with the 3 houses, what would that do if it switches over to the county jurisdiction? Would he then be able to go forward with the 12 out there?
That's what we're gonna have to ask Stu. Talking to Stu, we really haven't been into it a lot. Really don't know how much authority we actually have over that if somebody wants to pursue it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is out there, same thing with solar panels and stuff, we can actually sign off, but we don't want any jurisdiction over that area there. So what we did with the solar farm,
Yeah.
because they were within that range right there, we just basically signed off and said we didn't want anything to do with it, let the county take care of it. But, yeah, I know it's a pain to take care of the 2 mile radius, but I think we still need to keep a radius, because that way the counties can put whatever they want around your parameter.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing, and so if they got 12 houses there, like I said before, that could be potentially like, what, 48, 50 people, and half a dozen, 100 dogs, who knows how many more animals out there. So, you know, my neighbor then that lives to the south of us, that we've cashed in her property for, I don't know, 20-some years, like she said, you know, she's getting up there in age, and what happens if she, you know, were to pass away before we were to buy it, or somebody out there, then that could be potentially another, at least 19, I think it's 19 tillable acres that are right there, that somebody could just put another housing addition in, right next to the graveyard, you know, so we're kind of hoping, not specifically for us, yes, out there, that we don't want you guys not to have control over it, unless the county's gonna have more control over the subdivision and how many houses would be allowed to be out, and things like that, but it's not just us, there's gonna be
Oh,
other
it's
areas.
a lot of places. That's what we're gonna find out to do is, and actually, do we have any really authority over this place on the challenges?
Probably have to go to the commissioners meeting and ask them, see what their plans are.
Well, I've been to a lot of commissioners meetings,
How are they?
exhausting. But I'll tell you, worse is the APC meetings are much worse, because the one that I went to was 3 hours and 18 minutes. The second one was over 2 hours, but I don't think I stayed that long. But then the commissioners meetings, they've been kind of grueling too. So I don't know that anybody's came up with what they're going to do. I think I did not go to the last APC meeting that they had for the county, but they were the ones that were supposed to be in charge of doing these subdivision ordinances, and I don't think they agreed on anything yet, or on the solar, whatever they were trying to write up for that. So I'm not sure anybody knows what is really going on, or what's been.
We won't do anything unless we have to, or Stu says we have to, I mean,
Well, that's what I say.
and we'll talk to
So
them.
against giving that up right now until you have something solid from the county.
Yeah.
Said what you're gonna do, stuff, because you give that area up, they can do anything they want with it. It doesn't make any difference, it's outside city limits. It's only control, it's not much control we've got.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, but it couldn't be any more than just a development out there. I mean, there could be all kinds of things then that could be put out there if the county doesn't have a good ordinance that's better than yours.
Who's in charge of doing that, do you know? Either one of you know?
The zoning,
Yeah, well,
it would be the,
but isn't it the APC that are writing?
or there's a
this?
BZA for the,
That's-
right?
Yeah, but then I think it's the
We have a BZA here, but I think the county does too.
They do, but then I believe that it's the APC that are, in Roger Azar, that are writing these ordinances for both of them.
Gee, who's that gonna benefit?
I can ask.
Not the person that lives around there, actually, that.
Yeah, and he cooks with, Ratcliffe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll know more when Stu has our next meeting.
okay. Well, I do know that, like, somebody had mentioned that the town was maybe concerned about being sued, but there's also errors in emission policies. So I believe that the town has that with their insurance. So there's that also, that I think that helps.
I don't know.
I have my insurance license, but I know that much about it, so.
I know that. I know that.
But I think that there is a town policy for things like that too, so it's not like it's going to come after the building and that kind of thing, if that's what somebody's worried about with him out there.
Well, when it goes out and starts building without any kind of permit or anything else, and it wasn't taken care of when we did it, then there can be some problems. So that's, you know, I just think it is, we give it up, doesn't make any difference, but people like you are the ones who pay for it.
Yeah,
And because unless they're in a good zone, the county wants it.
right.
Anything else, anybody? Thank everybody for coming. Meeting adjourned.
Wait a minute,
Oh.
come down through, we're not.
I thought you'd already done.
Anybody? Now,
What you got now?
I'm not even started good. Okay, what we've got the Baxter Building, that's another, I think that's 211 North Main, which is another empty building in town, that's town owners, got over 100,000 now. Okay, what's going on with right there, they should be finishing up but they say what we need to climate condition that building somewhat. So Ken and I talked about it too, it'd be dehumidifiers or something. But we're in a position now, we've got a building that we aren't doing anything with, but we don't want it to fall back in the same conditions. I'm just saying that I think we need to get, that's all right with the town, we want to put dehumidifiers in. I need to get that going, and I'm sure we can get money out of the RDC to keep up with what we've got. So if the board wishes to do that, we'll move forward, and like I say, we should be getting the bill for the rest of that.
Did they run electric service in there for plug-ins?
Look, not at this point, right there, they ran it out by outside, and if you got it set up, it's gonna,
So you need plug-ins to hook those up.
you're gonna have to put, there's gonna have to be a main go into that,
Yeah.
and split off that, or run it off
Outlet on
something.
every floor or
I
something.
thought there was a main already in it.
There is, but you don't know what condition that is in that.
I don't know.
There's two or three mains in that.
Yeah, and they're in the basement, yeah.
I think I look at it, Jay, that's before you buy any.
Well, I mean, we need to do something about it,
Right.
we can't just go out and buy them, like, I think we need to get, the first step, get the power in there. If the board wishes, if we don't, we just.
Let's tell it we need to, so.
Well, I think we ought to have them in there.
Okay. Well, I will move forward with that right there, trying to get some kind of an idea of what it is, and Kim, if you want to stay on top of that, because I think somebody's gonna be coming through, service master with the bill.
Okay, and fired Noah, he could have done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, there it is. That's what I did.
Oh, that's right.
See what you walked into. Okay, well, anyhow, it's kind of simple right there, but that's the other thing, service masters are going to want to get paid up. That goes to my knowledge of that. The other thing is, we are providing a dumpster service for someone in town, because I'm sure we're not bringing that out of this building. But I noticed the other day when I come up to the back of the building, and tonight, somebody's dumping trash like they did a few years ago, and it's not,
Well, Holland's had used it for years.
it's not coming out of here.
In this dumpster?
Because I don't think the ladies use anything like that. It's
I
in
put
there.
boxes in there because I unwrapped the speakers in there, so that, I dumped those
Yeah,
boxes.
those boxes are no problem, there's some junk. That's
Fire
all.
department uses it, that's theirs.
Well, I don't really care.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
mean,
about it is, it's somebody else is using it, and it's residential junk. So
okay.
I just thought I'd bring that up. I mean, that's.
Turn the camera on.
There is a
There
camera.
is a camera on that.
Oh, look at it.
I just thought of that.
Pretty simple.
All right, well, I'll make it things simple, I'm done.
Tom?
No. Amber, I have a quote.
Yeah. Anything else? All right, try again, meeting adjourned. Brian, as you go your home. Pickleball.
That's about 2 weeks of the pickleball.
Oh, really?
Go in. Down here. We were